So we will see how we can configure Relic to monitor our own Node.js application. So over here you can see that I have already configured a demo one application which is in Node.js and it's started monitoring. So we'll just see how I have done this. So what I will go to applications, and before creating an application I will just show you my Node.js project so that you get an idea what exactly I'm doing. So in this Node.js project, in my main.js, which is a Node.js application, my first line is require new relic. So basically this is a library which will help the new relic system to new relic client program to get basically get the monitoring details from the Node.js application and push it into a file which is then basically asynchronously pushed back to the relic system, new relic servers, which basically reading this input monitoring data develops some visual analytics for our purpose. So this is a include, and we need to configure our relic new the file is new relic.js, which basically takes the name of the application and the key. So I'll change my application to demo2 since I'm creating a new one, and to show you how I can create a new one. This is a license key, which is basically an authentication that my application which is sending the monitoring data is an authentic one. So it will basically accept this data as authorized from myself. So over here I'll do add more. So in the add more I'll click the type of application for which I want to do it. So it's Node.js. So I've clicked on it. Yeah. So over here I need to get my license key. Then I will do this is basically the steps, which is basically to install the new relic APIs. Then the steps which I told you, that the new relic.js file I need to mention the app name and the license key, the first line in the application that is required new relic, and then deploy my application and I can see my data. So in order to see that I'll just mark this to as listen to my application. So it started listening to my application, but my application is not running yet. So what I will do is I'll up my Redis server first, that is Redis server. So the Redis server started and it's listening on port 6379, and I will start my main.js application also. So I have started the application, it's listening on port 3000, and I'll try to simulate a request. I have created a script for that, so it will just basically simulate a request. I just uncomment this line. So what it does is it's basically making a, a browser simulating a browser request, and it sleeps for 2 seconds and again simulate the browser request. So basically I'm just trying to load my Node.js application with some request. So I'll run this. So as you can see it started loading it, and I can see I'm getting the browser request over here. So as per this my application setup is done, and I should able to see the dashboard in some like within 5 minutes as per them. So I'll just clear up my setup page and go to the dashboard if I have to just to check if it's ready or not. So this is my demo 2, and my dashboard is not still ready, so I'll just wait for my dashboard to get ready. It will take like another 5 minutes. I'll pause the video till then. Hi. So as you can see my stats has been started captured by the new relic system, and over here I can see various stats such as the time spent in the Node.js application, or the time spent in the Redis, or the response time of the application. So this is like a time series data, so it just tells me the response time at different interval of time. Over here I can also see the AppDex score, which is basically the when I click here you can see the AppDex value. So it's basically the average response time. So if my response time is, if I currently it says to 0.1, so what happens is like any response time which is below 0.1 is considered as a satisfied one, and basically there are different thresholds, like from 0.1 to 0.4 are considered as tolerating, and another ones are considered as frustrating. In order to that we also get the throughput of the system, that is the load on the system during different interval of time. If I go on over here transactions, I can get the different types of transaction which is being done on this particular web server application. So I can see that my most of the load will consist of mu handle, which will basically get the image from the Redis server and display it. another one is like the list server. So over here I can just see the load for the different particular operations over here, list server, get or mail. This is again the throughput of the system. If I go to the database section, I can see that let is and L range is the operation which is taking the most time, that is 6 milliseconds. So over here basically I get various aspects of my Redis database application, the response time, the average response time, and basically I can set up alerts if to set some threshold, and if my suppose my application is not responding, or if my application is not up, or I'm getting a lot of 404 errors, I can set different kind of alerts and generate errors for that, so that I can generate an error analytics report for that. So this is just a brief overview of how I can basically connect my application to New Relic system and start monitoring it. Thank you.